Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the WZ-120-1G FT. It's a Tier 8 Chinese premium tank destroyer located on the defending team of Siegfried line assault, and it's under the command of marke12. Now this is the first of a couple of replays featuring tank destroyers and marke. Let's see how he gets on in this one. It's a 10-minute battle, as you know, and this tank is based on the Type 59 with a 122mm gun, and is very similar in many ways to the SU-122-44 440 Alpha. It's got 310 penetration with the heat rounds. With the standard rounds it's only 248, but that's still massive penetration. And remember, this is a premium tank destroyer, so you get extra credits and extra XP. I guess that one of the best things about it though is that front shield. It's so highly raked, very angled indeed, which makes it very easy for you to bounce shells off the front of the vehicle. Now that wasn't helpful for the TNH to do that, because he's blocked us completely, and if he gets killed out there in that position, well, that's a good first strike. 478's a high roll. Yeah, if the TNH gets killed whilst he's blocking us, then we'll have to find a new position to go to. There are various positions you can use when you're playing defense on assault. It looks like the enemy have managed to get up already, and the Concept 1B, well, that's the one we saw moving up as we got the shot on him. He's now threatening, and that will help their guys to get through the front gate if they're coming through the front gate. Some of them you can see on the minimap are already threatening to come in from the wings, you might say. The Conqueror as a standard B, a T-103. We haven't seen them yet, but we know they're there because our teammates have seen them. Oh, no, he managed to get up without us. Yeah, I couldn't pull back in time to get a shot on the Super Conch. He managed to sneak up without being spotted, so he must have very good camo, and that one hit the tracks. Standard reload is 9.4 seconds. Marke's come down to 7.6. That did pen. 379 low roll. Yeah, that Conqueror must have very good cam for him to pop up like that without us seeing him. Okay, nothing yet since the Martian. I think he's probably turned to the his left to get into that little corridor where he can sit there without actually getting hit. Of course, when there's Arty in the game, you can hit them sometimes if you can get to the right position. This early in the game though, it's very difficult to. Yes, that Martian did go to the left. He's behind the buildings. Well, we can see a number of tanks now are just around the corner from us at this moment. We just simply can't see them because the buildings are in the way. I suppose if we look to our left, no, we can't see it. Okay, we've got a Martian. That's the same Martian before. You actually, instead of staying behind the buildings, he's actually gone back through the gate. And now they are starting to push. So here comes the Martian. Using the bush mechanic. Try to track him. Yes, he got it. Tracked him in place. Let's see if our teammates can make use of this. We're going to keep him tracked. Oh, no, he didn't. He managed to fix his tracks and move on. And unfortunately that one hit the turret but didn't get the right angles, so it didn't pen. And he's now side scraping. And we can't see him. I think that tree up ahead is actually giving them a decent amount of camo. There he is. Yes, it is the tree that's doing it. Now he's trying to get the right angle, but that guy is deliberately turning his turret to present a stronger angle. Didn't stop him, Pen. That's a low roll though, 433. At this moment, I'm a little more concerned because our guys have fallen back to our left a little bit. And that means the enemy Conqueror and their Concept 1B have managed to move further down, and they're getting behind us now. We are 2 up on the enemy, but it's all about position in this game. If you can get the right position, then the enemy can whittle you away bit by bit until eventually you just fold and the whole lot falls apart. The enemy does have an Arty, but they can't hit us in this position. Well, not easily. There's the Martian, still there, still moving backwards and forwards. Might be able to get a shot. He's firing heat. Should be able to go through the turret. Not presenting as much of a target though. And he's now pulled back around the corner, so we can't get a shot on him now. We've selected the standard AP. They're only down to 3 minutes and 30 seconds. The enemy team seems to have left this very, very late indeed. We're only 3 tanks down on the enemy. If they don't get a move on soon, it will be too late for them to actually do anything about it. They simply won't have enough time. The Conqueror is now behind us for sure. Trying to get into the square. There he is. If we move away from this position to try and engage the Conqueror, the enemy will just fall in and... not fall in, they'll actually flood through the square ahead of us. Oh, we just lost the 122. Although actually it's not the 122, it's the 7032 I should say. To our right, the STB got him, so that's bad news. I expect to see an enemy tank coming to our right. Oh, there's the Super Conk that managed to sneak up earlier. Lost a lot of hit points now though. That T-32 is going to be the big threat very shortly. Oh, and he's gone! That's good news. The K91 PT got him. So the enemy team are now almost at the 2-minute mark. There's the 2-minute warning. Standard B takes a big hit. 484, that's a high roll. He's got no armor, that guy now. And one shot, or even just a nudge, is going to put him out of the game. It's been a bit of a quiet game for Marky. Normally he's very active, but yes, it's been very quiet. And the scores are a little better now, 7-8. Only one down. There's somebody up ahead over there, because I just saw something drop. Yes, there it is. It's the Martian. His camo, or rather the trees were good enough. Put that one right between the tracks. Right onto his lower plate. He's suddenly angling. And another one goes in for row 2. But he has been seen this time, so he needs to get another one in. Yep, and that's the Martian gone down, but he took a round from the STB, and that Super Conk is now a real problem. Okay, back up against the wall. The Super Conk will come around the corner. You'll get a shot into him, but he's baiting you. That's the 1-minute warning, by the way. He's just checking his right. Here they come. So it's all about getting to that critical point where you flood in. Oh! And the STP gets the kill on us. But we did get one round into him beforehand. We're now switched to one of our teammates in the Gorilla. In fact, there's only 2 left on our team now. But they're running out of time, the enemy team. They are running out of time. Oh, the gorilla's gone down. Which means the Arty is the last one alive on our team. And he is facing more than 5. So he's going to get a collar band off if he can survive for the next few minutes. Well, next few seconds, I should say, not minutes. Here we go. And that's it. Collar band off medal for the GW Tiger P. And here's the end of battle results, and that was the second class tank for marke12 and the WZ-120-1G FT. Surprising considering he didn't do that much in damage in the game, but yes, he did earn one because he actually did manage to get quite a few shots on the enemy, even though it was fairly quiet in that position. He got a 5 for effect as well for doing more damage than hit points with his own vehicle, but no of medals in this game. But if we look at team score, we can see that he actually did get the highest damage on his team, but not the highest damage overall in the game. The Prototypo Standard B got 4,312 hit points of damage, but didn't survive. The STB, the one that killed him, got 4,192. And the third highest on damage was the T-103 on the enemy team, 3,389. And then we've got marke12 with 3,369. We can see that the GW Tiger P was still alive at the end of the game, and there you go, he's got the collar band off medal. Yes, he actually managed to get the medal that everyone would like to get for standing alone against 5 enemies and still winning. But of course, in his case, he got it because he was still alive at the end of the game when the assault game ended. So he gets the medal. It's just as valid, but it's not killing all the enemy. It's not the hard way of doing it, it's the easy way of doing it. Or at least I like to say it that way. You can see that there were numerous enemies still alive at the end of that game. 6 in total, actually. Which is surprising to have that many, but there you go. Well, good game. Let's have a look at the... if we look at the rest of the details, we can see that when it came to kills, he only got 1 kill. The highest scorer was the STB, one with 4 kills, 3 kills to the T-103, and there's a whole bunch of tanks with 2 kills apiece. When it came to base XP, it was Marke who did the best with 991, 824 for the K91 PT. That's quite a good little tank destroyer, that one. 692 to the STB1 on his own team, and then we've got that T-103. Marke fired 13 rounds, got 12 direct hits on the enemy, 8 penetrations. Yes, he did use some premium ammo, but he did try to use some AP instead. Damage of 3,369 hit points. All of it was done at more than close than 300. Yes, at close range. 3 hits received from the enemy, 3 penetrations. Yes, 2 big hits he received, and then of course he got that STB1 to finish him off at the end. 2 enemy vehicles spotted, 4 enemy vehicles damaged, 1 killed. He earned 63,020 credits, got 47,265 from personal reserves, a total of 141,795 credits altogether, and after repair and ammunition resupply, took away a profit of 117,510 credits altogether. So it did work that he was actually using not only a premium vehicle, but using that premium ammo to get some of the pens he did. 991 XP, 149 for this being a premium vehicle, took away 1,636. Yes, quite an unusual game for a WZ-120 in terms of very little damage done, but yeah, he did end up with the highest damage on his team, and they did win the battle overall simply because the GW managed to pick the right spot to be hiding in at the end of the game. So that's the end of the first battle. Let's have a look at the second one. The second battle is in the T-103, which is the turreted version of the box tank. Yes, surprising. Game on. It looks like he's loaded in a bit late, but he should come into action shortly. Yes, this tank is armed with a 130mm, 13cm gun, I should say. And you can see he's got an ace tank already because he's put the mark right on the front to try and frighten people. Yes. As I said, this is the turreted version of the box tank. It's actually something that was only in blueprints. They never actually built one. They did build a version of the SU-100Y though. It's based on the T-100 tank. It's an old tank, but it's one that they did have, the Soviets did have spares, so they decided to use them. Turret is quite big, as you can see. It's also got a very slow traverse, which kind of hinders it to a little bit. The gun velocity is fairly slow as well, which is a bit of a problem because it doesn't make a very good sniper under the circumstances. And you can see the turret is very, very big because, of course, it's a very big gun. It requires 2 loaders in order to handle the shells because they're very heavy. Now, just like the box tank, it's got a poor reverse speed, only 12 kilometers an hour, 40 forwards. The good news, though, is it's got that high alpha that you get on the box tank, 440. But even though the box tank is tier 6, this one is tier 8. So it's kind of a letdown, really, because the good thing about the box tank is that it's got that huge alpha at a very low tier, which means that most of the targets it aims at, it can take out with just one shot. Whereas this one can't really do that because it's up against tier 8 opponents. And tier 8, well, even could be against tier 9 opponents for that matter. But the problem is that, yes, if it's going to come up against a tier 8 opponent, they're going to have a lot more hit points. But it does have a fast fire rate, 10.74 seconds is the book time, and you can see here Marky's got it down to 9.44, which means that you can do a fair amount of damage to the enemy, and even better was the fact that it's got decent pen as well. Oh, he's been seen by that list. No, that's not good. Yeah, he's got decent pen. He can do 258mm with the standard rounds, and with the premium AP, he can actually do 307mm. So he's not going to be having a problem trying to pen the enemy. It's just, well, it's that slow shell velocity, which means you have to think or lead the target to a certain extent if the target's quite a long way away. Well, this is interesting because we've got 2 tanks that have gone across the bowl, the WZ-120 and the 132 rather, and the Barask. And they're going to get shot in the rear if they stay where they are right now, because these guys, look at that, it's a Liberté and well, there's a whole bunch of enemy tanks, and they're shooting across the bowl, and then there's 4 star guys to dive into the enemy rear. Now the WZ-120 is hoping that we're going to help him defend. In fact, that T-32 is actually behind him because he's gone down into the bowl. So our WZ-120 is kind of surrounded now. Mind you, there's an LTTB down there to help him. Nothing really for us to shoot at the moment. Yeah, the LTTB has run away. So he's left the WZ-120 alone. Oh, we do get around into the Mailbreaker, but that Mailbreaker is headed down to kill the WZ-120 and he's gone. So I think that's a bit of a problem. We can't see the Mailbreaker. That tree's in the way, I think. Can't knock the tree down. But we've been spotted again. This is the bad thing about this vehicle. Poor camo. So big. So easy to see. So easy to hit. And despite the fact that it does have very good armor on the front of the turret, 220mm, you can still pen it. That's the problem. At tier 8 it's easy to pen. If it was a box tank at tier 6, then it'd be a lot more difficult to pen if you were aiming directly for the mantlet. But the box tank, of course, has very poor armor already all round on the superstructure. Now, despite the fact that we are just trying to fend off the enemy from our cap area at the moment, the team is doing quite well because we're equal scores, but there's a battle going on for the enemy cap at this moment, and I think that's where the enemy's paying attention. Well, we just won on the ice road, or near the bridge, so I'm hoping that AMX 65 ton will actually go up the ice road and not towards the bowl. And can assist us at 53 TP and the guard. Another good thing about this tank is the gun depression. It's 8 degrees. It's quite good gun depression for a Soviet tank, but the thing is that it does have that tall turret which enables you to elevate and depress the gun quite a lot. Of course, the tall turret gives away its position because it's so easy to be seen. The LTTB's gone down to help the AMX 65 ton. Just lost sight of the mile breaker, but the enemy's fended off all of our tanks at their cap. So we're still the same on scores, but the enemy's got 3 heavy tanks. We've only got 1. Well, Marky expects the enemy to come down the ice road. I say that he's right because it looks to me like that's the direction they went. The 65 ton can't see them, so they must be coming this way. The only problem, of course, is that means our turret is going to stick out like a sore thumb, and the enemy will aim at it at a distance. Still, with the 30 degrees of gun elevation, we shouldn't have any problem raising the gun towards the enemy. He's marking the ground where he thinks they are. The Liberté has actually come up against the 65 ton, so those two are going to have a... Oh, and we lost the 65 ton. Not good. The LTTB is our eyes now. And the mile breaker is coming from the same direction, so that tells Marky he's got to change position. Okay, we should be able to get eyes on the Liberté, and Marky should be able to pull back if the LTTB keeps his eye on him. There he is. Nice shot. High roll for 501. Get another one in. He fires blind. That's all he can do. He's been spotted and bounced around off him. And that was the M6A2. There he is. The mutant. Didn't go through the armor though. And he fired a 105mm round at us. That's better. 391 low roll, and we bounced another round. Okay, can we get a kill shot? Yep. Okay, now remember that Liberté managed to get up, so he's going to be approaching the cap soon. Now, I'd say on the whole that it's better to be defending this area than to be attacking it. Malebreaker. Trying to work out where to put the shell. He's tempting us to fire. We can see now where the Liberté is. He's actually getting close to the base of the hill. Now, accurate. Yes! Low roll, but 422. It is a hit. The LTTB is fending off the Liberté down at the bottom. And another good shot. 416, but it's another low roll. But I think he's now one shot. He's just hiding behind that rock for the moment. He daren't come forward. He's going to try and get a shot on us from a distance. And he goes down. Nice. Now, means we can deal with the Liberté, who's just killed our LTTB. And I think he's going to do this nice and roughly by pushing over and shooting the guy one shot into his rear. Okay, so now we've got to deal with the enemy turtle, but remember, he's only got a gun at the front. He's asking for help from the M40, M43. Now, Coppola didn't go through, and he did take a round from the turtle. Remember, he's only got the gun at the front, which means that if you can get behind him, because you've got the turret, you should be able to deal with him. So he's got the disadvantage to a certain extent. Now we can, again, the speed is a bit of a problem, but he's got to traverse in order to get the gun to bear on us. And the Arty hits him in the meantime, which slows him down, and that gives Marky a chance to get behind, track him. That's it, now he's in trouble. Effectively, he's now dead meat because Marky can do what he likes. He's actually tracking the guy, pumping rounds in. Oh, he's untracked himself, but Arty can't fire now, but we can kill him. And there we go. Oh, that wasn't called for. Here's the end of battle stats, and it was a first class tank for marke12 and the T-103. He managed to get a duelist for taking down 2 tanks that damaged him, a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills, he did get 4 exactly, a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle, and a shell proof for blocking more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle. And he got the high caliber overall for doing the most damage in the game. Let's have a look at the team scores. Well, he did get the highest damage with 4,044 hit points. The next high scorer being the Liberté with 2,776. Followed by the 53 TP Markovsky who got 2,695. When it came to kills, it was shared between all three. The Marky managed to get 4. The 53 TP got 4, and so did the Liberté. And when it came to base XP, it was Marky with 1,231. 1,097 went to the 53 TP Markovsky, and the third was the WZ-120-1G FT with 899, and he's appropriately named Kaboom. Let's have a look at detail. 19 shots fired, 16 direct hits, 12 penetrations, 4,044 hit points of damage, of which 1,722 was done at more than 300 meters. As I said, this is not really a long-range sniper, but half of his damage was done at long range in this game. 7 hits received from the enemy, 3 penetrations, 4 non-penetrations. The armor is fairly tough, but it's fairly easy to see because it's such a big tank, which makes it very vulnerable. So you need to pick spots where you can get damage on the enemy without them returning fire, or at least not being able to get good pens on you. Because if they do fire anything back with the 122mm caliber, they probably will have the penetration value to get through your armor and do significant damage. So yeah, you have to watch out for that. As I said, it's not a long-range sniper because the gun is not as accurate as you'd like it to be. 1,400 hit points blocked by armor. 4 enemy vehicles damaged, 4 killed, 258 hit points of damage assistance. He earned 70,044 credits from the game, 52,533 from personal reserves, 50,000 for completing a mission, 207,599 altogether, and after repair and ammunition resupply, and the ammo is cheap, 183,758 credits profit. So it's a very, very good profit maker in that sense. Well, then he did actually get one of the personal missions completed as well. 1,231 XP times 2 for the first victory, 183 for this being a premium vehicle, 3,879 experience points altogether. He said good teamwork leads to victory. I think it was more a case that you just held the line. You basically put an anchor down on your cap area and stayed there to prevent the enemy ever coming near it. And you were basically allowing your teammate, in terms of the LTTB, to tell you where the enemy was, or at least to stop that Liberté from coming up and shooting you whilst you were trying to deal with the Malbreaker in the end. Well, it wasn't the Malbreaker actually, it was the VK16801. But, well, it is a Malbreaker, isn't it? That is the Malbreaker. But, yes, in the end, actually, it was just the sheer fact he was doggedly holding the cap area to say, I'm not going to let the enemy take this win. And it's such an advantage to have the top of that hill on Mountain Pass. It's even more so than the other end of the map, because you can play with the gun depression to actually stop the enemy ever taking that cap area. I've seen numerous people won pools medals, collar ban-offs by holding that hill, and Marky did it very well in this one, even though it was a bit slow for the battle, because he didn't actually get to fire until the battle was well underway, because there was nothing to shoot at. But in the end it all paid off. I hope you enjoyed both those replays. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And please do remember that we've got a second channel called The General, where you can watch great replays without any commentary at all. Thanks for watching.